Sue. Welcome to Fireside Chat. I'm very pleased to be here with my honored guest, Joe Zeleznik.
Joe Zeleznik.
Joe Zeleznik. I almost got it. Okay, awesome. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Sue.
How are you doing today?
Great.
I'm so glad.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. I'm so glad to finally meet you. We've been talking for a couple of years, and he's always been like, you got to just think about it, Sue. If you want to tell me about an opportunity that is actually your job to
Sure.
find people, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I've been a recruiter for 26 years. I've been recruiting for AAA for the past 5. And I recruit for the entrepreneurial agency channel. And what that is I recruit entrepreneurial-minded people who would like to own and operate their own AAA agency. So a lot of phone work, but we're looking for the people who have the passion and would like their own business. And
That's true.
If you're out there, give me a call.
Absolutely. And we're going to have your information. I'm going to make sure that we have. I think they put it here. So yeah, we'll do that at the end then. Okay. So yeah, I just have a question. So what led you on this path? You've been doing it for a lifetime.
Yes. Well, as recruiters, there's a saying in the business: no one says I want to be a recruiter when I grow up. That's never been said.
Never.
Actually, it's something I just kind of fell into, but, it's been 26 years, and it's kind of what I do at this point, but I like it. You get to talk to people like you, Sue, so that makes it all worthwhile. But
I hope so.
You get on the phone, you talk to people, you find someone a job. There's a real sense of satisfaction that comes with that.
That's true.
It's
a good company.
Yeah, they've been around over 100 years, AAA.
Wow.
So we're not going anywhere, and
that's amazing.
We're not a fly-by-night. So.
Definitely not, no. And so over that period of time, you'd have a lot of members.
Yes, we do. And, we have our roadside assistance that's award-winning.
Right.
For like $50 to $100 a year, we'll come get you any time of the day or night, anywhere, and fix whatever's ailing your car and get you back on the road. And plus, there's discounts to thousands of online and in-person merchants that come along with being a AAA member, and then, of course, all of our insurance products, which is what the EA entrepreneurial agency owner would sell, both our memberships and our insurance products.
Okay, and do they also do anything with travel? Some places?
Some places do. That's more and that's a good question. That's the more corporate-owned branches that are involved with travel.
Okay.
But yes, we do have those services, and everybody likes vacation, right?
Very much, especially this time of year.
Yes.
Is there mentoring for people who are going to give it a try? Okay, I'm going to open up a brick and mortar store. Is there people that would be able to mentor me if I wanted to do that?
Absolutely. You will talk to several people along the line in the process. I'm the first person you'll talk to. They will have several conversations with me over the course of usually months, frankly. Wow. But, there's a lot of, for lack of a better term, hand-holding.
Yes.
You got people, everybody's got their little quirks. Everyone's different. You got to kind of navigate the minefield and walk them through the process. But they'll have several conversations with me, several conversations with my colleagues, people higher up the food chain as we go through the process. But there's a lot of moving parts that are involved in this. There's a lot that has to be done. You have to get licensed. You have to go through training. You have to put together a business plan. You have to find a location. Probably a couple more things that I'm forgetting right now. You have to have a couple people working for you. So, there's a lot of steps involved here. It takes several months, but
right.
we're here for you. It's not like we say, go take care of all that and don't bother us till you've got it. Not at all. We're here to help you with all those steps in the process.
That's really good to know. It's comforting.
Yes.
Do they have to have an agency license as well as be an individual licensed agent? Is there like an agency license that they need to operate, or?
Yeah, that's a little higher up, the food chain from me. But yes, but that's not a
But
big
would you
deal.
guys help with that?
Yeah, we help with everything,
Very good.
everything. And you as the agency owner would need both your property and casualty and your life and health licenses.
Right.
Those take a couple of weeks apiece. You can get licensed, and then you go through training, and then you open up your agency. But it insurance, and this is one I want to make a big point of.
Yes.
It's a great business model because you are a couple of reasons actually. Number one, your overhead costs are very low.
Okay.
Think of a lot of other businesses. Pretty much every business, you have to constantly stock your shelves, so you constantly have to buy things. You own
Yeah.
a restaurant, your produce spoils, your heart sinks. And with insurance, you don't have to worry about that. You're not buying anything.
And
So
you
you're
can bring your laptop and take care of people in their own, wherever they're comfortable,
right.
really.
Exactly.
You can go to a Starbucks.
Yeah, and your overhead costs are low, but even better is the fact that you are selling a product which by law the community has to buy.
Amazing.
There aren't many things in this world we have to buy. Insurance is one of them. So
Right.
that greatly increases your success ratio on your sales calls. So that's something to think about if anyone's looking to own a business out there.
Very much so. Can you tell me your email, please? 'Cause I want to make sure that if you can mention it.
Sure. It's JJ Zeleznik at acg.aaa.com.
Okay, that's perfect.
JJZELEZNIK. So I hope I spelled that right.
Okay, I think you did. Yeah, I think you did. So how long does it take from, say, the person's licensed, from the time that you're licensed, and if they qualify, if they have the right amount of capital and they are the right temperament, that they have the right skill set, the right demeanor, from the point that they're licensed, how long does it take?
After the licensing is the hard part, or
Okay.
I should say the most time-consuming part,
Okay.
because you have to study, you take your practice exams.
Yes.
Then when you feel you're ready, you take the test for real.
Yes.
And you need 2 of them, remember. So that's the time-consuming part.
That's true.
But once that's over, it's maybe just
Months?
2 months. Once you're done being licensed, because a lot of the steps leading up to that you can do concurrently. You can study for licensing while you're putting together your business plan,
True.
while you're searching for a location.
Right.
So, a lot of those things you can do concurrently with one
Right.
another. But once you're licensed, the hard part's behind you. Then you have training. That takes about a month. You can do it from home.
That's awesome.
AAA training you can do from home. But yeah, just pretty much a couple months at that point.
Is there certain things you look for in a location?
Yes. First of all, you have to be 3 miles away from any other AAA location.
That's a good rule.
Yes. And usually it ends up being a lot more than that. Now, Greater Detroit, that's a little harder because obviously this is where everyone is. But
Wow.
Western Michigan, Northern Michigan, there's really ample opportunity.
Wow.
So, we would really love someone up north. We've got a few, but we would like a few more.
Because they would the community would be so happy
Right.
to have their own in-person, because I know not everyone wants to do things by computer, or, some seniors don't have email, and,
Right.
and so it's so nice to actually have a brick and mortar office to go into, isn't it? It makes a difference.
Absolutely. You touch on something that's absolutely true. I mean, I'll speak for myself here. I don't like that we've become an increasingly impersonal and digital society.
Absolutely.
I like the human factor, and that's
too.
what we're looking to promote. We want our agents, our agency owners, to know their customers, them to know you. Hello, Mrs. Jones. Pleasure to hear from you. What can I do for you? That.
Right.
Remember the good old days where we actually did that?
Yes, those were good days.
That's what I miss. And again, up north, there's, you're going to be the only show in town.
Definitely. You're gonna make like
miles and miles. And moreover, it gets even better. There are no territory restrictions. So regardless of where your office is, you may solicit, as long as they're not already a AAA customer,
right.
solicit from the Upper Peninsula down to the Ohio border.
Oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
that's a big deal because you can expand your book,
Absolutely.
and the more, I guess, your network is, the more extensive network, you could actually have a similarly extensive book, right?
Absolutely. Well, and that going back, if I
Yeah,
may,
please.
again, insurance is something we all have to buy.
Right.
So think of, if you're just a random person who's done whatever throughout your career, well, I don't know how to sell insurance. What would I do? Who would I call? Well, think about it. Think of everyone you know, family, friends, neighbors, the people on your
School.
softball team in the summer,
Yeah.
school, the alumni network from your high school.
Wow.
They all have a car. They all have a house. They all need to be insured.
Wow.
So why not go through the person you know and trust? You will have plenty of numbers to dial. You won't be bored.
Does the company supply leads? Because I think AAA does some pretty good advertising. So does the company generate interest from the money they're spending
Yes.
for attracting interest, and of course people need you. So would that ever be available to an agent? Yeah, like say there was somebody up north and there was nobody else around there. Would you help that agent by sometimes referring people?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's several ways to answer that. First of all, yes, we will provide you with some free warm leads.
Wonderful.
Most of them are people who have a AAA membership, but no insurance, so that's a nice lead
That's
in.
great.
Hello, Mr. Smith. This is Joe at AAA. You've been a member for 5 years. Thank you for your business. Could I talk to you about some home insurance? So, and again, those are free of charge. Number two, we do reimburse you for an advertising budget.
Oh wow.
Your first calendar year, we reimburse you up to $5,000 per quarter for advertising expenses.
That's generous.
Yes, so you can put that advertising budget to work. If you'll notice, and a few more things I'll say, as AAA, we don't really run that national commercial because our feeling is, let's give Sue Hanley some advertising dollars to use in her community to target her audience.
Oh, I see.
That commercial
Yeah.
that airs on Monday Night Football in Colorado isn't going to help you in Troy, Michigan
That's
that
true.
much.
That's true.
So, let's let you use those dollars individually
wow.
to focus on your side. And one more, as for advertising, one more thing I'll say is,
Please.
AAA will do, we have our online ads or, a TV commercial here and there.
Right.
That comes from corporate. That's not on you. That,
Okay.
you don't have to ante up for that one.
Okay.
Corporate pays for that. Presumably, hopefully you will benefit from it, but
Yes.
it doesn't come out of your pocket.
I got something in the mail yesterday from AAA, and I've never gotten anything before. So it's just so interesting because I was
And
going to
here
meet
I
you
am.
today.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Coincidence.
next day, like that's incredible. Perfect timing.
We should
Joe.
both go buy lottery tickets.
Yeah, we really should. It's true. Oh my goodness. Yeah, then I would start an agency because I'd have the capital.
There you go. Perfect.
Isn't that funny? Can you imagine?
Make my bosses happy.
Yes, it would. They'd be like, "Is that what she wants to do with the money? Are you kidding?" Yeah. Oh my goodness. Do you think that like young people should also know about insurance as a career, like maybe even at the middle school, high school level? Because there's so many people who will find their way to insurance over the
Right.
course of their lives. But wouldn't it be nice if we could attract them younger?
Absolutely. Because, again, insurance isn't going anywhere.
No.
Your house, your car, they all have to be insured. So
Wow.
they're not going anywhere. And kind of to your point, when you're an EA owner, if you embark upon this opportunity, and you will, with AAA, after 3 years, you own your book of business. So let's say you open up your agency, you grow the business, and whenever, 10, 20, 30 years from now, you want to retire, you've got a few options. You can either sell your book of business for literally hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
So think about that. I mean, it's made you good money every year you've had it, and
Right.
now you can take with you a $300,000-$400,000 check into retirement.
goodness,
That
yeah.
buys you a lot of years.
That's amazing.
So there's that to look forward to. Or if this is an option, you may pass the agency on to your kids when you retire.
I see.
And that,
Wow.
I think the legacy aspect's a big one, because
That's
your
amazing.
kids, think about it. Your kids, they're young adults. They're trying to find their place in the world. They can
Yes.
always get licensed,
Yeah,
come sell at the family business. They will never be out of a job.
that's true.
If they want to go do something else, they've learned some marketable, transferable
Really good
skills,
skills, yes.
or they can
Really
stick
good
around
skills.
and take over the agency from mom or dad.
Wow.
So, but either way, it's nice knowing that's in place there.
Right. Yeah, and you could do it for a couple of years, and if something happens and you can no longer work, like at least you don't have to lose everything you gained, because that's so much like business goodwill,
Absolutely.
the area and the business owners around you, because you also can help business owners, right, with insurance.
Oh, sure. And people typically stay with us.
Yes.
When
I'm glad to hear that.
when you sign up a customer, you sell them whatever type of insurance. There's, I would guess it's just from observation a good 80% chance that they will be with you for life.
Wow.
You're always going to have some attrition. People move, they die, they go to another carrier because they'll save a few dollars, but the overwhelming majority of your customers will be with you for life.
That's amazing.
I'm with AAA. My customer, or my agent, I should say, is a guy in our office.
That's awesome.
He's good at what he does. Why would I ever go elsewhere?
I'm so glad.
Do
Do you think the rates are pretty comparable, like to other, because sometimes some agencies they might be a little bit higher
right.
ended and stuff. So do you think AAA is like competitive? Because people really do look at price more now than they did like 30 years ago.
Right. No, good question. And I think so. And our rates generally, and first, there are so many variables involved.
Completely.
But
Yes.
we're right where you want to be, which is in the middle.
That's
If
nice.
rates are too expensive, that drives people away for obvious reasons. But
Right.
on the other hand, if I'm quoting you, that I can insure your car and home for this ridiculously small amount, well, that raises some alarm bells. So
Right.
we're right where you want to be in the middle. And moreover, we do not have ridiculous rate spikes.
Okay.
You're not going to walk in and one day in
Like
5 or 10
30%.
years, and find the rates have gone through the roof and all your customers have left you because they increased 50% this week.
Wow.
That doesn't happen.
Okay. So the people who really are running the corporation understand that, these owners have a lot invested and have put themselves, into their business.
Absolutely.
And so, why cause undue hardship, and all these people who have been loyal to you and
Right.
who are there for you, who are out there being your brand, right?
Right.
And so I'm glad that there's some awareness of that.
Sure.
Because
Absolutely.
sometimes, corporations, they just seem sort of impersonal, like it's people out there making decisions for us who are actually on the ground and in front of customers. And so I'm glad that, that they're not so divorced from Main Street.
Reality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Main Street. Good
yeah,
way of
you
putting
know what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
It's because
Main Street pays your bills. That's if
True.
you alienate Wall Street, no one buys your product
not
and
Main Street.
you're out of business. So, yeah, we've been around over 100 years. So clearly we're doing something right.
Do you know how it started? Was there like a story? Was it an agent who decided that he wanted to create something? I
mean,
wonder how it started.
As far as way back when,
Way back,
the
yeah.
EA channel or AAA itself?
AAA itself.
Well, it's been over 100 years, and it started, with the roadside assistance, and then there was a coalition of auto club groups under the umbrella, and they all got together and formed this this network, I guess, for lack of a better word.
That's a good word.
And again, it's that roadside assistance. It's the memberships which give you the free roadside assistance. They're from like $50 to $100 a year, which is nothing. I mean, that's $1 a week.
Oh my
And
God.
think of the peace of mind you get for that.
Truly.
You're
Truly.
you've got the family loaded up. You're driving down
Especially
to
this
Florida. the car breaks down on I-75, and we'll come and get you. We'll fix whatever needs fixing, and you're back on the road, and the family vacation is saved. So that
It's
for $1
incredible.
a week, that's a good,
That's
that peace of mind is well worth it.
And it's amazing how they don't like take advantage of people's needs. Like they kept it reasonable all these years
Hmm.
and still have excellent service and like the access to people who could come and see you where you are somehow. That there's probably a network of people that you can call on to help that person.
Sure, absolutely.
And so, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
we're here if you need us. Your agent's here. We have a claims number. A lot of a customer service number. So there's a lot of people in
Okay.
place to help you.
So, yeah, I mean, insurance itself hasn't changed that much because it's so regulated, right? So we have to, we have
Right.
to have privacy and all of those rules. We have to make sure that we're not doing anything fraudulent. We're not taking advantage of anyone. There's very strict guidelines, and of course, like that's how we would want to operate anyway.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
want to say, the first time, whatever it is that we're doing, it has to be right, and it has to be right for the customer, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So, yeah, it's good because you can actually, you don't have to go and, in a sense, sell your soul to make a living. Like, you can
Right.
actually do the right thing and go to sleep at night knowing
Absolutely.
that you truly help people, right?
Yeah, and another thing, to your point, is
Yeah.
rates are set by law.
Okay.
So, in other words, I come to see you. Hey, Sue, I need my car insured. It's this model, this year. I live in this area. Here's my driving record. You type in my parameters, and it gives you a figure. That'll be whatever,
Right.
$1,500 a year.
Right.
Well, could you maybe knock that down closer to 1,000? No,
No,
you
right?
can't.
No.
It's the law says it's that, and there's no haggling, which frankly is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
That's
Oh, my
that
goodness.
makes your life a lot easier.
Yeah, it really does. So if there was say there's a dealership nearby, say I wanted to open a brick and mortar store, went through all the stages and got approved. If there was a dealership, wouldn't that be really good?
Absolutely, and
Oh my,
some
I
of
just
our
thought about that.
guys some of our guys do that. They like, I used to work at a dealership, or I know the guy at the dealership
Right.
down the street, and
Right.
he's going to feed me leads and potential customers. So yes, that's a
Wow.
potential feeder opportunity.
Yeah, and I like the feeling of, say like a small town or something where, oh yeah, you go to this person for that. And, it's kind of like I got a guy. I got a guy for
Exactly.
collision. So if you have this network, just because maybe you grew up there or you went to high school there, that is your existing base. And so if you're helping them, they're going to come with you and they're going to refer you people. So it's almost like if you can just start and do a good job, you will grow because the
Absolutely.
business is there.
Absolutely. I've had two separate insurance agents who I work with, who and they're lifers. They've been doing it a while. But the key to it is, and they both told me the same story, which I'll get to, but the key to it is you open up your agency, you want to hit it hard right away.
Yeah, I agree.
Get your name out there, dial, dial, dial. It's a hustle. That doesn't mean it's a long week. You'll work your 8 to 5, 8 to 6, but
Yeah,
you'll be
normal
home for
hours.
6 o'clock dinner with the family every night. But if you put in that legwork early on, it really comes back to you.
Wow.
Two separate agents told me the same story, separately and unsolicited. They said, little by little, it's the hustle starts coming to you. And they both said by about the 5-year mark, I never made another cold call
Oh my God.
because people are coming to me now.
Wow.
Hi, Sue. My neighbor, Joe Schmo, is a customer of yours. He said I should call you. Or,
Right.
my coworker
Yes.
is a customer of yours, whatever. And,
That's true.
it starts coming back to you. Those referrals start coming in, and, that's what everybody likes. Another thing I want to point out, which
Please.
I think would make this very attractive as a business model. Pretty much every business, as we all see, they're very volatile. They're up and down
It's true.
every other month, and insurance is not like that. It's in a restaurant, for example, you're up and down every other month. In April, you're
Sure.
rich. In May, you're poor. Insurance is steady.
Okay.
You'll start making a profit pretty quickly, and once you start making a profit, you really don't stop.
Wow.
You're not going to walk in the office one day in 5 years, find that all your customers have left you and you're drowning in red ink. That just doesn't happen.
But that's true for startups.
Exactly.
So much risk.
Yeah, exactly. And and again, it goes back to insurance. This is not a fly by night. This is not the latest get rich quick scheme that people will forget about in a month.
Right.
Insurance, it's been around forever. It will be around forever. It's
Yeah.
not going anywhere. So
Wow.
you can take comfort in that.
It's a nice legacy situation. If even if your kids don't really know what they want to do, it's always all right, to have them build these skills and
Right.
to talk to people. A lot of young people,
sales
they just need
skills,
social
people skills,
Yeah.
cold calling
It's really good.
skills. They can take, they work at the family business for 2-3 years. They can take those skills and it will open a lot of doors for them.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, if they want to stay at the family business forever,
They can.
They can, even better.
Yeah, actually, when I came here to Michigan in 2002, one of the neighbors, he had his own Allstate agency, so I went with him. And a few years later, his son opened one close by.
Uh-oh.
And it was not too close, but it's nice because you want to see, you want your kids to be happy and do what you love. So if you love what you do and your child says, you know what, I'm all in, I can't imagine the feeling of pride,
Absolutely.
right?
And that's a good point. There is a feeling of pride. Your name's on the door.
Oh, my God.
Your name, they're at the corner of First and Main. You're a pillar of your community.
Right.
You help people. You employ a few people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to like there.
A lot to be proud of. It's,
A lot to be proud of.
And it's a very kind of, it's regulated and all that. So, as long as you're following your rules and doing right by the customer. And sometimes that means, you know what, I can't help you right now, but when you get this, then come back and I'll help you because you might have to say no, but they'll always walk away. Like they'll walk away and they'll be like, you know what, my aunt should call. So even if they don't have business right now for you, they could, just because you treated them so well, they're like, I want to help this person back, right?
Absolutely.
So they could, it's just goodwill, right? It's goodwill.
Absolutely.
So I really hope that it's giving people something to think about. Joe would be happy to talk with you about an opportunity. And I know he's been calling me for years and been so patient with me.
Sue and I talk a couple times a year. I've been trying to get her to sign up. So far, I've been unsuccessful, but
No, it's true.
maybe if I keep at it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're such a pleasure, actually. You're such
Thank
a
you.
pleasure to work with and to talk with. I really appreciate you. And I think one of the most precious things is that to feel like someone believes in you. And I really feel you believe in me. And
Thank
that
you.
means the world.
Thank
It
you.
really does.
Yes, and to that point, Sue, let me point out, if you've got an insurance background, great, but it's not necessary.
True.
We're more focused on
important.
people who have the passion and the entrepreneurial spirit.
Everything else can be learned, right?
Everything else can be learned. And I've always felt this way for pretty much everything. I can teach you the business. That's the easy part. What we need from you is the attitude, the passion, the work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got that, you're 3/4 of the way home. So
Wow, that's really good to know because,
so-
so many of us feel like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure if I have what it takes, or like, oh, who am I to think? But you know what? You never know. Like, I would have
Right.
never thought, oh, like me, an agency owner, but
Right.
you
And
know what? If you have the right qualities and you
Yeah.
have the right heart,
I would say, just from observation, and I've been with them 5 years, I would say a good 3/4 of our agencies do make it.
Mm-hmm.
Some fail, and mostly they failed because they didn't do any work. But
which makes sense.
go figure. But most of our agencies do make it and are doing quite well.
That's amazing. And that's a lot. Like, that's a lot better than startups and people who start, other businesses. There's no guarantee and there's certainly no roadmap.
Absolutely. Right.
So it's wonderful that there is one and that there's a big enough corporation who takes your success seriously because they're investing in you just like you're putting your whole self into your agency, but they're also investing in you, right?
Right, absolutely. Yeah, and and I want to make clear though,
true.
there's no franchise fee, there's no buy-in. We will
Wow.
never ask you for a check. You get $4,000 after you finish AAA training, and that
Okay.
takes about a month, and you can do it from home.
Okay.
Then the month you open your agency, we give you another $15,000 in startup cash
All
for
right.
payroll, phones, computers, things like that,
Right.
business-related stuff. But that's not a loan; that's a gift, and
Okay.
so you'll have some
You can
front-loaded
actually
cash.
afford to have like desks for employees that you've just
Right.
hired.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
going to be cash poor early on. We're
Okay.
going to provide you with some startup money.
It's an amazing opportunity. Thank you so much for coming today.
Can I give my
to chat
phone
with me.
number?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So thank you for listening, Sue. Thank you for having me. If anyone would like to discuss, please
Absolutely.
call me. Office number is 248-879-2140. And I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure. Thank you so much for spending time with me. So we'll talk to you next time, and thank you for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Well, that was fun.
You're so good.
So are you.
So good. Oh, God.
Like I said, Johnny Carson, he's got nothing on you.